Okay, so for the first thing I'm going to have you guys do is I'm going to have you go print out page 187 and 188 if you can. It'll be easy to take notes that way if you can print this out. If not, again, a separate sheet of paper will be fine. But if you go back into the Schoology page, you should be able to find page 187 and 188. So today we're going to talk about solving quadratics using the quadratic formula. So you've learned to solve quadratics by factoring and by the square root method. And those work great in certain situations, but they don't work in every situation. So the nice thing is the quadratic formula works for all quadratic equations. It doesn't matter what they look like, it always works. So that's a great thing to have. So the first thing we want to notice is that to use the quadratic formula, our equation, the quadratic, has to be in standard form. So this is our standard form here. So that x squared term comes first, then the x term, and then that constant is last. So we want it in this order so that we can use the quadratic formula. And this here is our quadratic formula. So this is an important formula to know. We're going to use it a lot in this class. You're going to use it a lot in geometry and in most of your math classes from here on out. So it's a really great formula to know. So today, or in this video, we're going to focus on just a piece of the quadratic formula. And that's this b squared minus 4ac part. Inside that square root is going to tell us a lot about what we're solving. So we're going to just focus on that right now. So in order to solve, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find the a, b, and c values. So again, once I have it in that standard form, I can figure out what a, b, and c are. And then I'm going to solve for that discriminant piece here. So that b squared minus 4ac. So that's going to be kind of our first step every time we're using the quadratic formula, is to find this discriminant. And what the discriminant is going to tell us is how many solutions we're going to get. So for instance, if the discriminant is a positive number, I don't know if I'm going to be able to write that small, but if the discriminant is a positive number, then you're going to have 2 solutions. If the discriminant is 0, you're going to have 1 solution. And if the discriminant is a negative number, then you're going to have no solutions. So by finding this discriminant, we can determine ahead of time how many solutions we should be looking for. So let's get some practice in. So if we look at these examples underneath, again, right now, all we're going to do is find the discriminant. Later, we'll actually go into solving using the quadratic formula, but for now, we're just going to focus on the discriminant. So this first problem's already in standard form, right? The x squared term is first, then the x term, then the constant. So now, I need to determine what a, b, and c are. So if you look here, if there's no number in front, that's going to be an imaginary 1. So that means that our a value is 1, our b value is 3, and our c value is -4. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these values and I'm going to plug it in to b squared minus 4ac. That means I'm going to have b in this case is 3, so that's going to be 3 squared minus 4, and then a is 1, so 4 times 1 times c, which is -4. So I plugged in my a, b, and c values, and so now all I have to do is simplify. So we would do our exponent first. So 3 squared would give me 9, right? 3 times 3 is 9. And then I'm going to bring this negative with this 4 so that my answer is going to tell me the sign of our problem. So I'm going to do -4 times 1 times -4. So -4 times 1 would give me -4, and then times another -4 would give me +16. So then because I used this negative with the whole problem and got +16, there's a plus sign that goes there. So now I'm just going to add 9 plus 16 is 25. So my discriminant is 25. So then since 25 is a positive number, that means I'm going to get 2 solutions. All right, let's try the next one. Again, it's already in standard form. So then we're just going to pick out A, B, and C. In this case, remember that if there's no number in front of our x squared, or if there's no number in front of any of our x's, it's always a 1. So a would be 1. B here is going to be 10, and c is 25. So then again, when I plug that into b squared minus 4ac, b is 10, so it's going to be 10 squared minus 4 times 1 times 25. So 10 squared would give me 100. And then negative 4 times 1 would give me negative 4. And negative 4 times 25, right? This would give me negative 4 times 25 would give me negative 100. So I would have 100 minus, or 100 and negative 100, which would end up being 0. So then my discriminant here is 0, which means from our list, right, if I have a 0, that means I get 1 solution. All right, so go ahead and try number 3 while I clean this up. Pause the video, try number 3, and then we'll come back and do it together. All right, so looking at number 3, again, it's already in standard form, so we're ready to identify A, B, and C. So in this case, A would be 2, B would be negative 7, and C would be negative 4. So then I'm going to plug those values into my b squared minus 4ac. So that means b was negative 7, so I have negative 7 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 4. So when I solve that, negative 7 squared, so remember, negative 7 times negative 7 would give me positive 49. And then I have negative 4 times 2, which would give me negative 8. And negative 8 times negative 4 would give me positive 32. Right? These two would make negative 8. And then I times that by negative 4, and I get positive 32. So then 49 plus 32 would give me 81. So my discriminant is 81. So since that's a positive number, that means I get 2 solutions. So right now, all we're doing in this video and in the back of this worksheet is figuring out how many solutions we are going to expect. And then after this, we're going to go into actually solving for that many solutions. So go ahead and try page 188. Do those last 7 examples, and then you can check your solutions on Schoology. The solutions are posted.